Before coming to the Academy, I was really looking forward to learn more about circular economy, what the concept really meant, and as a government planning officer, what it really means for planning officers and the government to really ingrain it into our development systems. And in addition to that, of course, what are some technical tools and methods and approaches that we could use to really make sure that it's a systematically mainstreamed and synergistic process. But obviously, of course, this Leadership Academy brings together many young professionals across Asia, and it was really fascinating to learn a lot about the initiatives and the experiences from various stakeholders working in Asia. And I would say that reflecting back, I was really able to achieve my objectives for this academy. I was not only able to learn that circular economy is not just about recycling. It's a whole system based on natural systems, and to be able to really make sure that it's implemented in our economies and our development patterns, we have to, again, think about natural systems. How does the ecosystem work? And really learn from that process once again. And then from tools and methodologies, there are many tools existing, and I was very impressed by the amount of research and reports that's already been ongoing, especially in Europe, in China. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation's already published a toolkit for identifying gaps and solutions for countries to see the level of circular economy in each countries. And I've made incredible friends from many different countries and fascinated by the amount of work they've already done in their own sectors. So Mongolia is, I would say, as any country, it has unique features. Mongolia is a landlocked country. Our biggest economy contributing sectors are agriculture, mining, of course energy, but agriculture and mining are fundamental sectors, economic sectors. Considering the level of environmental change and economic change, the patterns in economic developments in the past, I would say 30 years or even 60 years, we can see that climate change is really taking place. We're having frequent extreme harsh winters called zods, droughts, shortage in water, desertification in southern areas of Mongolia. And coupled with that, most of our development strategies and patterns are based on economic growth, which really challenges Mongolia and questions the future development. How do we go forward with our development strategies and policies to make sure that these challenges are relieved? And I think circular economy could really be a leverage for Mongolia to tackle difficult and complex development challenges. Specifically, agriculture, for instance, makes up 40% of our economic development. It takes up certain significant amount of labor force as well, but breaking down agriculture, livestock is a huge sector. We have around 60 million animals. So how do we make sure that our agriculture sector is not degrading land, degrading the soil, creating shortage of water, but creating the social and economic environment for people's well-being as well as the growth of the agriculture sector. So these are very difficult challenges, and I think that circular economy could really change the paradigm of mindsets for people working in the sector, but also in the government. Because if we only challenge the waste coming from livestock, for instance, it would be only one side of the story. So the most important lesson I've learned from this academy in thinking about Mongolian challenges is the fact that we really need to think in systems. By tackling recycling challenge doesn't really tackle the whole development challenge of based on the economic growth, but huge environmental risks and climate change being a huge contributor potentially to our development in the future. So we have to think about how do we potentially change our government strategies? How do we govern and manage those sectors better? How could we integrate and ensure policy coherence? And of course, think about how institutions could work together. And as someone working on policy coherence and SDGs and long and medium term planning, I think that we could really work on policy coherence, make sure that sustainable consumption and production action plan that we've adopted is mainstreamed into the different socioeconomic sectors, so that it's really a comprehensive action towards tackling these difficult environmental socioeconomic challenges. So I think that in my office, I work in the Development Policy Planning Department of National Development Agency, frankly, focusing on long, medium-term planning, ensuring coherence, giving feedback and providing technical expertise, methodological expertise to ministries and when they develop their policies. So one part of my job is to review draft policies that's formulated by line ministries. So in giving feedback, because I now have the understanding and the approaches and the knowledge on circular economy, I could give feedback and give resources and information on how the existing draft policies could be improved so that potentially those socioeconomic sectors really think about how circular economic approaches, principles, and tools could be integrated into their own national and sectoral policies.